Thank you.
I must say this is a great blessing for me. Doing this is something that I don't qualify to do. I'm just a student, just like like all of you, learning. That's the first thing that my father, my teacher told me, son, don't try to be a guru. Just try to be a good student and you'll get by just fine. And that's important. Every day is a learning day. From the day you arrive in this world and the day you die, you'll be learning. So there's no point in trying to be a master. There's never going to be a time when you'll know everything. No, there's no chance in doing that. But I'm blessed and I thank you all, especially for giving me this opportunity to come here and get this blessing and this dua.
Pleasure is ours.
And on behalf of you all, I declare this place open.
हमारे छोटा सा नहीं आप प्लीज नहीं आज बोलिए आप रोना क्या
all of us here today. And I am, so to speak, an outsider to Indian classical music, having had no association since less than a decade ago. And as many people in India who are outsiders, so to speak, our introduction to Indian classical music was by this really dashing looking young person playing tabla on an ad on television. It's a very cliched statement, but that was also my introduction to classical music and to this entire world of Indian classical music. And since then I have been encountering this maestro's name despite having had very less engagement at that point with classical music. And after getting into this world through concerts, through lectures, through interviews, through reading your writings, I think all of us look at you as a guru, and we have even though many of us have not had the privilege of having interacted with you personally much, but I think we all feel that we have already learned so much from you. And it is a huge honor, a huge privilege for us that you have come and graced us with your presence here. And we are very, very thankful to you for giving us your time. On behalf of Dhrupad Sansthan, of everyone here, many people from Bhopal, I extend my warm welcome to you.
Thank you very much.
I would request Babuji, the chairperson of Dhrupad Sansthan, to formally extend a welcome to you.
The formal welcome.
Formal, it is in the form of informal.
So, if I'm going to the dining hall to get food and the lights go off, oh my God. Ji, ji. This is when I was Mr. Chabo. Thank you.
Ustad, we are all really looking forward to hearing from you.
Hearing from
So I'd like to hand over the mic to Bade Guruji and then.
ये आज हमारे लिए, हमारे संस्थान के लिए, भोपाल के लिए एक हिस्टोरिकल डे है कि उस्ताद जाकिर हुसैन साहब भोपाल तशरीफ़ लाए हैं और ख़ास तौर से हमारे ध्रुपद गुरुकुल में। ये बात मैं आपको और भी बताना चाहता हूँ, कुछ लोग तो शायद जानते हैं पर कुछ लोग नहीं जानते हैं। 27 जनवरी 2007 को जाकिर भाई ने यहाँ इसी संस्थान में वो आए थे और हमारे ध्रुपद संस्थान के प्रमोशन के लिए उन्होंने यहाँ भोपाल में एक तबला कॉन्सर्ट भी हम लोगों के लिए किया। तो आज ये ध्रुपद में जितना बढ़ोतरी धीरे धीरे जो हो रही है उसमें निश्चित रूप से उनके आशीर्वाद हमारे साथ हैं, क्योंकि उन्हीं के आशीर्वाद से ये जो है सब धीरे धीरे फल फूल रहा है, ऐसा हम मानते हैं और दिल से मानते हैं। तबले का जब भी नाम आता है, जाहिर बात है सबसे पहले जो नाम हमारे जहन में उभरता है वो है उस्ताद जाकिर हुसैन। और उन्होंने, यह हम सब लोगों की खुशकिस्मती है कि वो इस समय में, हमारे समय में हैं, हम उनको देख पा रहे हैं, सुन पा रहे हैं। और पूरे हिंदुस्तान को इस समय अगर भारतीय संगीत के नाम पर कोई रिप्रेजेंट कर रहा है तो वो है उस्ताद जाकिर हुसैन। तो ये हम सब के लिए, हमारे हिंदुस्तान वासियों के लिए, हमारे हिंदुस्तान के पूरे संगीत जगत के लिए ये परम सौभाग्य की बात है कि वो हमारे बीच हैं, तबला बजा रहे हैं और हिंदुस्तान का परचम। और सबसे बड़ी बात देखिए, तबला जैसी विधा जो आज से अगर 40 साल, 50 साल पहले, 30 साल पहले की अगर हम उसकी स्थिति को देखें तो वो स्थिति और आज की स्थिति आप पाएंगे कि उलट हो गई है। पहले तबला ज़्यादातर संगत का ही वाद्य माना जाता था। आज आप इसका उलट देखेंगे कि आज कहीं पर भी किसी भी संगीत समारोह में तबला सोलो के रूप में हो रहा है और आज इतने बड़े उनके फॉलोअर्स हैं पूरी दुनिया में।
जो मेन वाद्य था वो संगति का बन गया है।
ये जो संगति का वाद्य था उसको मेन वाद्य में कन्वर्ट कर देना, ये एक फिनोमिनल चीज है कि जब तबले का नाम
वायलिन, सितार, सरोद लहरे के रूप में बजते हैं।
तो ये एक बड़ी बात है और ये एक अच्छा ईश्वर ने एक अच्छा संयोग बनाया है, मैं ऐसा मानता हूँ जाकिर भाई के रूप में, कि जो तबला भी उतनी खूबसूरती से बजाते हैं और अपने व्यक्तित्व का भी मैनरिज्म उसमें जुड़ा हुआ है।
क्या बात।
ये दोनों चीजें हैं उनमें, उनके अपनी जो बॉडी लैंग्वेज है, उनका जो अपना मैनरिज्म है व्यक्तित्व का, वो और बजाना, ये दोनों मिलकर के ये एक ऐसी चीज बनी है हिंदुस्तान में जो और कहीं नहीं है। ये हम सब लोगों के लिए सौभाग्य की बात है। और मैं जाकिर भाई का तहे दिल से स्वागत करता हूँ और ये उनकी ज़रा नवाजी है कि वो हमारे संस्थान में आए। आने के लिए बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया।
थैंक यू।
I'd like to request Chote Gurji to share a few.
जुगलबंदी तो हो ही रही है।
इसमें आपका आशीर्वाद है।
आदाब जाकिर भाई, अभी आपके बारे में सबको मकान ने बताया है कि किस तरह आपकी उपस्थिति पूरे विश्व संगीत में यूनिक है। मैं थोड़ा सा जिक्र करूँगा कि ये जो हमने निवास बनाया है, साधारणी निवास, उस्ताद जाकिरुद्दीन खां साधारणी निवास, और जिसका उद्घाटन जाकिर भाई कर रहे हैं। तो जाकिर भाई वो हैं, जाकिर का जो रूट है वो जिक्र है, तो जिनका जिक्र हर समय हर व्यक्ति हर स्थान पे करता रहता है, वो है जाकिर हुसैन। हमारे दादा गुरु के भी गुरु उस्ताद जाकिरुद्दीन खां साहब, हम लोग जो अभी हम वर्तमान में जिसको हम डागरवाणी बोलते हैं, ये साधारणी गीति से आई है। और हमारे जाकिरुद्दीन खां साहब ने इस गीति को, इसका पुनराविष्कार करके, इसको एक तरीके से रिसर्च करके इसको प्रतिपादित किया था उस समय पर। वैसे तो इसका उल्लेख हमारी जो 5 गीतियाँ हैं, शारंग देव जी ने भी और संगीत नाकर में लिखा है, भरतनाट्य शास्त्र में लिखा हुआ है, शुद्धा, भिन्ना, गौड़ी, वेगस्वरा और साधारणी। तो हम लोग इस साधारणी गीति को गाने का प्रयास करते हैं, हमारे उस्ताद हुसैन ने सीखा, और जाकिरुद्दीन खान साहब इसके खास प्रवर्तक थे। अब मैं एक खास बात बताऊंगा कि जाकिरुद्दीन खान साहब जिस तरह से हमारे ध्रुपद जगत में, तो भारतीय संगीत में कितने कमिटेड और कितने गंभीर थे और कितना उनको अपनी तालीम का गर्व था, उसका एक वाकया ये है कि हमारे छोटे बड़े उस्ताद जियाउद्दीन खान साहब बोलते थे हमेशा कि वो जब गाते थे तो वो उनके साथ जाकिरुद्दीन खान साहब और अल्लाह बंदे खान साहब 2 भाई थे, वो जुगलबंदी में गाते थे। तो उनसे जब कोई कहता था जाकर के, वाह खान साहब आज तो क्या गाया आपने, तो उनकी थोड़ी भ्रकुटी तंग जाती थी। बोले, अरे हमने गलत कब गाया? हम गलत तो हमारा उस्ताद गलत, हमारा उस्ताद गलत तो उसका उस्ताद गलत, तो हम तो हमेशा अच्छा ही गाएंगे और अच्छा ही गाते हैं। तो ये जिसको अपनी तालीम पे जितना गर्व होता है वो, और जिसको अपने तालीम की वैल्यू होती है, वो इस तरह की बात कर सकता है। उनका एक और किस्सा है कि बड़े उस्ताद ने बताया था कि वो जयपुर में रहते थे उन दिनों, जाकिरुद्दीन खान साहब और अल्लाह बंदे खान साहब, और वो रियाज में बैठे होते, सुबह रियाज करते ही थे, म्यूजिशियंस लोग करते ही। तो अपने इतने ध्यान मग्न थे गाने बजाने में कि कोई आया उनका घर का और बोला कि साहब फला आदमी का इंतकाल हो गया है। तो उन्होंने धीरे से देखा उसकी तरफ, बोले ठीक है, अभी 11 बजे रियाज खत्म हो जाएगा, फिर उनका इंतजाम करेंगे। He was not affected with that so bad news because he was so much involved in the music and his practice that it shows his commitment towards the art he was discovering. So हम सोचते हैं कि साधारणी, तो साधारणी का एक अर्थ है यूनिवर्सल अपील। तो इस समय उस यूनिवर्सल अपील को अगर हमारे देश में कोई रिप्रेजेंट करता है तो उस्ताद जाकिर हुसैन। कहने की बात नहीं है, लेकिन ये बात सही है कि ये ऐसे पहले संगीतकार हैं पूरी दुनिया में भारतीय जिन्होंने सही मायने में प्रैक्टिकली न केवल भारत में तो बच्चा बच्चा आपको मनवाया है उन्होंने, और पूरी दुनिया में जितना डाइवर्सिटी के साथ उन्होंने तबले को प्रेजेंट किया है, ये यूनिक है। और उस तबले की यूनिवर्सल अपील है, तो हम सोचते हैं कि ये बहुत ही प्रासंगिक है कि ऐसे साधारणी निवास का उद्घाटन ऐसे उस्ताद जाकिर हुसैन। थैंक यू।
The mic is going back and forth. I would like to hand it back to Ustad.
You're the junction. Good morning, everyone. Like I said, I'm totally unqualified to be sitting amongst greatness here and greatness all around, except for that center photograph. It's not my fault. Everybody's blaming me for that I've done this, I've done that, I've done this, and I've done that. No, that has not happened. It's teamwork. There's got to be more than just me for a lasting impression of this tradition to engulf the world. I just happen to be in the right place at the right time, and that's all it is. I don't consider myself, I'm a student. I'm still learning. And like I said outside, my father told me, be a student, don't try to be a master. And just remember that every day is a new learning. So that's important. And one thing that I've learned from learning is that the guru is also learning when he or she is teaching. And so the first student is the guru itself. And the next student is the iPhone. But one thing that as students we have to remember is that the guru does not teach. The student extracts the knowledge. That is a very important thing. You must inspire your guru to teach you. You must pray for the spirits of the music to shine that light of intellect on you so that your guru notices you. This is a very important thing. The reason I sort of started to notice that is because I used to sit in a room and I would be practicing, and my father, my teacher, would be in another room, you know, and I knew that I was practicing what he had told me to practice, and I was doing it as prescribed, and it was going on fine. But there was no reaction from him. The reaction came when I did something different with it. And when I added a little decibel or a comma here or dotted the T a little bit better, his ears, you know, opened up, and he would look in and he would say, now do this, now try this, now try that, now one. And suddenly, you know, like the dam would open and all sorts of information would come, so much so that it was like, enough already. So it's up to you as a student. It's known in the music world that the knowledge inside of the guru is like a fast flowing river. And it's up to you to grab a cupful or a bucketful or a truckload of information out of that. It's up to you as a student. So never arrive thinking I'm going to sit here and my guru is going to teach me something new every day. That's not what it's all about. It's about waiting for the right moment for the information to appear, because the guru, when inspired, gives you that information. It happens because suddenly you and the guru are on the same wavelength.
Yes. Very good.
Because you have inspired the guru, you have done something that has plugged you into his mind and into his heart. And so you have become one. And when that happens, the knowledge flows, the transmission comes through, and it's up to you to grab as much as you can. And so try to achieve that, try to go for that. I played a concert with my father once in some place, I think it was in Patna. And we finished playing, and we got off the stage, and somebody came up to my father and said, "Khan Sahab, you were fantastic today." It was at the Dussehra festival in Patna, and I think we were in one of the stages, I think it was Patna Junction or something. And he said to my father, "Oh, you were fantastic, you were great today, Khan Sahab, and your son, he plays just like you. What an amazing thing." And my father immediately said, "I hope he doesn't. He doesn't play like me, I hope he doesn't. He does something different." And then the man asked him why, and he said, "Because what I am doing is already done. And if he does exactly that, then he'll just be a carbon copy. And carbon copy gets thrown in the wastebasket. It's the hard copy that's kept." So I hope whatever I'm teaching him hopefully shows him some window through which he can look out and find a different light and a different way to speak the same language and a different way to tell the same story. We are not going to learn anything new. Whatever is being taught to us has existed for 1,000 years or 2,000 years. We're just going to try to tell it in our own way and express it in the way that we speak. That is a loophole in Indian classical music. We are told to follow the tradition verbatim, but at the same time we are told to improvise and do something different with it. It's a contradiction. And we have to figure out a balance between the two. And that means it's not a contradiction when you speak the same story in your own way. You're following the tradition, but you are telling it in the modern way. I mean, from the time of Bible, whether it was Jesus or it was Zoroaster, it was Muhammad or Buddha or Rajneesh or Satya Sai Baba or Sri Ravi Shankar or anybody, nobody has said anything new. They have just said it in a way that has reverberated and sparked an understanding in the listener of today. So that's it. That's what music has to be. It has to be moved forward into the new world. One of the greatest musicians of our time, Ustad Ali Akbar Khan Sahab. I had the great fortune of being under his shadow for about 10, 11 years, and I learned a great deal from him. And one of the things he actually told me, I don't know if he told any of his students, because he was very rigid about, you have to play this way, you have to do this way, and this is how my father, Ustad Alauddin Khan Sahab Baba, did it, etc., etc., etc. But one day when we were just sitting around in actually what happened was we flew to London and London was fogged in, so we were diverted to Reykjavik, Iceland. So we were sitting in the hotel room, just me and him, and we were talking. And he said to me, which is exactly what my father had said, that I hope my son does something different. He said, "Did you notice that whoever has been acclaimed as a great genius, who has brought the music around the corner into a whole different level, raised the bar, has not sounded anything like his or her teacher. They've been different. When you talk about Patiala Gharana, when you speak of Ustad Ashif Ali Khan Sahab, Ustad Badi Ghulam Ali Khan Sahab is way different.
Yes.
He's not the same. He's very different. When you speak of Banaras Gharana, and you speak of Bade Ram Sahai Ji, or you speak of Kanthe Maharaj Ji, and then you speak of Kishan Maharaj Ji and Pandit Shanta Prasad Ji, Banaras Gharana were totally different from each other.
Yes.
Ustad Ali Akbar Khan Sahab himself said, I don't sound anything like my father, Ustad Alauddin Khan Sahab. I'm very different. But I take that same knowledge, but I speak it my way. My father, Ustad Allah Rakab, I have asked him that, you don't sound anything like Miyaji. Miyaji meaning my Dada Ustad, Miya Kadawat. Totally different. So, this is a contradiction. We are told to stick with what was, but at the same time, what was, and the one who's telling us to stick to what was, it hasn't himself done it, has taken it a step further. So you must take that leap of faith, take it a step further. Do not be afraid to speak your heart into your music. If you stay afraid and just be a parrot, then you'll just be in that little cage and you'll repeat what your master tells you. And you won't be yourself. So do not be afraid. Take that leap of faith. It's okay to look silly. It's okay to fall flat on your face. It's very difficult to do that on stage. But don't be afraid to. It's okay to fail. Because failure is the best lesson you can ever have. That's very important to know. And I've failed a zillion times, I tell you. It's a genius will be brilliant, incredibly heavenly, angel-like one day, and really bad another day. That will happen. And I have seen that. And it's not because the genius is not good, it's just because the genius who was brilliant yesterday has said, okay, that was yesterday, I don't have to do that, I want to go further, I want to try something more. And on that day of trying something more, he just tripped and fell. It didn't happen. So he appeared bad. It's that attempt to once more reach for the heavens. And that's what you must do. You must try to do that. It's get your teacher to teach you. And then take that information and speak it in your own language. Thank you.